Alright guys, and in today's lesson, I'm going to give you, yes, I mean you, everything that you need to know about collections so you can go ahead and get them off your credit report the same exact way. So go ahead and get the pen and paper, and with that being said, let's dive in. Alright, so when it comes to collections, I want to go over this common misconception and issue that people have when it comes to the difference between a charge-off and a collection. So I just want to show there is an actual difference. So let me go over that really fast. So a collection account. A collection account is literally an account that you have not paid on within 180 days. Once the payment has not been collected, the creditor that you owe the debt to actually takes your debt and sells it to a second-rate collection agency at a super low cost. And once the payment has not been collected by you, the collector then sells your debt to a secondary collection agency at a super low cost or a fraction of the cost. So now, instead of the main collection agency coming after you for that debt, it's whoever that they sold the debt to, they're the ones that's gonna start coming after you. So this is where the whole debacle comes in at when it comes to an actual collection. So 180 days, you don't pay, they send to another credit agency for a dollar on hand, pennies on the dollar. It can be anything. Now, a charge-off is similar, but it is different all at the same time. It takes place at the same time when you have not made a payment within 180 days, but instead of selling it to a ghetto credit agency, they just take the amount that you owe and they just think, hey, they're not gonna pay this, so let's go ahead and write this off on our taxes at the end of the year, which amounts in an actual charge-off on your credit account. So basically the difference is, hey, collection, hey, let's go ahead and sell it to a second-rate agency. They'll worry about the headache. We're not gonna worry about it anymore. Or, hey, you know, it's still been 180 days. They're not gonna pay. We don't wanna give it to a secondary credit agency. Let's go ahead and write it off on our taxes, giving it a charge off. That's the difference. Now, just to let you know, both can stay on your credit report for 180 days plus, and both can harm your credit and impact your future decisions when it comes to using your credit. Both stem from the same reason of AKA not paying your bills. So with that being said, pay your bills on time, people. Please, I'm begging you. I don't want you to go through this again. So now that you know the basic foundation of collections, now we're gonna go into the secret of how you can actually get things off your credit report and understanding it. And this part is statute of limitations. So again, when it comes to collections, collection agencies have a specific amount of time that they can actually work in to actually get the debt that you actually owe from them, which stems from, of course, statute of limitations. A lot of these collection agencies still try to break the rules by still trying to collect the debt that they're already past the judgment time of when they're supposed to actually get it. So I just want to let you know, and that's where statute of limitation comes in at. Statute of limitation can vary depending on the state. What goes on in New York could not be the same actually in California. So I don't want you to get that misconstrued. So I just need you to actually know that and keep that in the back of your mind. And while you're keeping that in the back of your mind, I'm gonna make it even easier for you. Take a look at the link in the bio and go to your actual state, and it's gonna show you what your actual statute of limitation is for these collection agencies to see how long they can go about harassing you for this actual debt, okay? So click the link in my bio and you can see everything. I'm gonna make it easy for you. Your statute of limitations is created when the last payment was made on that account, aka the collection. So when the last payment was made on that was 180 days ago, then that is your statute of limitation begins, and so on and so forth. If it's 3 years and 180 days, that's what it is. 5 years, 180 days, that's what it is, so on and so forth. So if the last payment was made 180 days ago, then that is when the statute of limitation begins. Or if it's 2 years and 180 days, 3 years, 5 years, and so on and so forth. Now, to keep this in mind, now every time that you make a payment towards that collection account, you actually restart the time for your statute of limitation on that account. And I know it sounds kind of weird, but let me just give you a quick example. So let's say in your state right now, the statute of limitation is 4 years, right? And a collection agency can only come after you within those 4 years. And let's just say that you're 3 years and 10 months in, right? And you make a payment of a penny, a dime, a quarter, a dollar, anything that you do, you automatically start the process all over again. And now the agencies have another 4 years to come after you. You see, just by doing something that you have no understanding of can really hurt you and make it detrimental. This is why some credit specialists advise you not to make payments on a debt, as it will turn back the hands of time and give the collection agency validation and that, yes, you owe the debt, making it even harder for them to remove that off of your account. Now, I know you're wondering, well, how do we actually deal with the people that are actually calling our phones, harassing us every which way that they can to try to get this debt? This is where you're actually going to use the FDCPA, which gives you a cheat sheet to attack that unlawfully debtors that are trying to come after you. Like, that cheat sheet is going to be everything that you need so you can actually use this against them. For example, did you know it was illegal for collectors to harass you through email, calling you at work, contacting you before 8 a.m., contacting you after 9 p.m., and even threatening you with a lawsuit? Yes, it gets spooky out there. And I know we know a lot of people that have gone through this, and I'm telling you, these debtors are out of line, and you can use this to your advantage to get these accounts removed and to actually not pay a debt. So now what you want to do is file a complaint along with your disputes. So when it comes to actually filing the disputes, you actually just don't want to do that. You also want to file a complaint as well to speed up the process. And this involving the CFPB and the BBB, the Better Business Bureau. Because these are like the higher ups over these companies, the overseers, and if they're not complying into what they need to be doing, this is where they step in to actually take your complaints into consideration so we can speed up the process to get actual negatives off your credit report, or to sometimes not even making a payment on a debt. Because again, you as a consumer are protected by your rights. So please add them to the list, because just disputing with the creditors will not always work. I'm just gonna be honest with you. 70% of the time, it's not gonna work. You always gotta attack collection agencies from a way different angle, all right? So if you add the CFPB and you also add the Better Business Bureau or the BBB, you will get faster results. And if you also need a full breakdown of how to file a complaint, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make you a video step by step on how you can actually file a complaint with the CFPB moving forward, all right? I wanna thank you guys for stopping by. Now, if you use all of these steps, you will get those collection accounts removed, all right? And until next time, ladies and gents.